Are you an AI fan? Maybe you just want to know more about the robots that are going to take over the world. Either way, this video is all about the new advancements in AI technology, so you know exactly what's happening. No matter what your reasoning is to be wondering what AI is doing, this video is for you. So, grab a chair and relax, because we're about to get started. First up, what is AI doing in 2022? Listen, we know that AI is getting smarter every year, but people are becoming a bit skeptical about how much power it's going to have with companies over the next few years. We do know that AI can do simple things like play a chess game, but it's still learning how to do more complicated tasks. I mean, a 7-year-old has a broader intelligence than an AI technology. However, this year, people are beginning to think that AI will be used in training or the environment. I mean, you have big names like Google, Facebook, and Amazon all investing billions of dollars to work on AI research because they believe this will be the way of the future. An anthropologist from Cambridge has come forward and claims that AI will be taking up more space because the metaverse is set to become more commonplace in 2022. Except the metaverse brings a whole load of issues itself, but we won't get into that in this video. Then you have the likes of Gary Marcus, the man who sold an AI startup to Uber and is not an executive chairman of Robust AI. Well, he says that he thinks the breakthrough that is done with AI won't actually be immediately seen or recognized in 2022. He said that it takes years to go from discovery to practicality, so people will be waiting a while until it's noticeably everywhere. One of the things he's looking forward to is deep learning. Deep learning is a part of the AI that tries to mimic the neurons that are found in a human's brain. Right now, Marcus really believes that scientists should be focusing on how to connect science and technology to deep learning. When they can figure that out, then they know that the AI has the knowledge of the topic and won't need to keep relearning it over and over again. He thinks this is going to be one of the biggest things they're going to be working on in 2022, but it's going to be a leap in the AI direction that we won't necessarily see. However, he has admitted that it will take a few years for it to be perfect. What do you think about AI having a part of itself that can mimic a human's brain? Is that interesting, or do you think it's starting to play a bit of a dangerous game? DeepMind. One of the biggest breakthroughs when it comes to AI technology is from DeepMind. The company managed to create an AI software that can accurately predict the structure that proteins will fold in a matter of days. This can happen within a matter of days, which actually saves thousands of dollars when it comes to disease and drug discovery. With this breakthrough, DeepMind is looking to advance its scientific discoveries with AI even further. What do you think about what DeepMind did? Do you think this is how we should use AI technology? Natural language generation. One of the latest advancements with AI is through language. It's no surprise that machines communicate in a different way, but now there's technology that converts data into a native language. The technology will convert the data into the desired language that the user wants. The content that the AI generates is so good that people can actually use it to target their selected audiences around the world. It's basically like a better Google Translate, I guess. It's really interesting if you think about it. The data doesn't stop there, though. No, people can turn it into charts and graphs as well, which would make it a lot easier to present this information to someone when you don't actually find it, but the AI did. What do you think about the language generation? Do you think this is a step in the right direction? Next up, speech recognition. We've all heard of Siri, Alexa, and Bixby, but they're now taking it to a whole new level. This speech recognition will actually take the language and convert it to several others. Don't just think that means it'll translate it from English to French, but it can also turn it into computer-friendly language as well. How does it make you feel to know that AI can now translate what you're saying into multiple languages? What if it translates what you said into another language, but actually changes the meaning? No, maybe that's a bit far-fetched, but you never know. Also, keep watching, because we have even more news about the latest advancements in AI technology so far. Now, on to decision management. Decision management systems are being implemented in many organizations today because they can help convert and interpret predictive models. All of this information is perfect for businesses because now they can make even more informed decisions based on actual data. Also, this management program doesn't just stop there. It'll actually help make quick decisions, avoid risks, and automate any process. We're seeing this system being used in the financial, health, trading, insurance, and e-commerce sectors. I honestly wonder what these reports look like. Do you need to pair it up with the language AI in order to turn it into a native language? The thing is, people need to remember not to completely rely on this decision management because there's so many people that are unpredictable, and I don't think AI has gotten to the point of actually working with how humans naturally operate. What do you think about this? Should we be relying on AI for decision management? Now, for machine learning. AI can now have its own power to learn about data sets without being programmed. Now, this is weird. Basically, machine learning is where AI can help businesses make informed decisions with analytics and algorithms. This AI program can basically just run whatever test it wants to run. Right now, you can see this in the medical industry because this technique is being used to analyze patient data and to predict if they're at risk of any diseases or how effective treatment would be for them. The banking and financial industry is also using using this program by having it predict and analyze customer data so it can suggest investment options while also looking for risk and fraud. It's even in the retail industry because businesses are using it to see customer preferences and behavior and analyze all of it to get a full picture of what's going on around them. What I don't understand is, why are we letting AI actually have so much control over analyzing things? Won't it continuously learn from it and then think it doesn't need to analyze it anymore? Also, what do these businesses and people do with this information? Do they think it's really valuable, or is it almost like another opinion? I think that's the only way to see how customers are behaving, because they won't be able to get this information when they're in the store. Maybe the reason why this AI advancement is being used so much is that everything is now being done online. We have way more people on the internet who are actively being involved with things, compared to when we used to always go to the store. What are your thoughts about machine learning? Do you think it's good for us? Do you see it being tweaked to do even more in the future? Artificial intelligence chips. Listen, we all know there are some crazy powerful chips out there in laptops. We're looking at you, Apple. However, even they have trouble with handling AI. That's because it's so incredibly powerful and complex, so there obviously needs to be a chip that's been made only for AI. Since the business world wants to use more AI software, chips have needed to be made. Right now, these chips are for neural networks, deep learning, and computer vision. Don't ask me what all of those are because I'm not entirely sure, and we're coming to the end of this video soon, so we might need to revisit this. Anyways, along with these chips, they're also creating CPUs that can support these chips, because they wouldn't be supported in just any old CPU. That would be ridiculous. AMD is the company that's creating these chips, and they're going to be able to perform very complex AI calculations. We can also see them being used in the healthcare and car industry later on after it's ready to go. I know that's a pretty far time away, but it's not impossible. Anyways, that's the end of this video. What are your thoughts on AI? Do you think we need to keep advancing AI technology, or should we slow down? Do you think it'll help everyday people, or just another way for the rich to keep getting richer without doing any work? Let us know down below.